As I believe I mentioned earlier, we're going to be using velocity as one of our attributes for displacing this geometry. And at the moment, if we take a look, well, we'll come right to the File node, select that, and then go to Geometry Spreadsheet. We can see what we've got, the attributes we currently have. On the points, just position, got normal and UVs, and primitive, we just got a couple of groups for the two different blueberries and nothing in detail. So we don't have our velocity attribute yet, so we need to go ahead and make that. So if we take a trail SOP, so by default, I don't know if we'll see much here. If I stretch the length, it will kind of, yeah, you can see it's kind of copying the geometry there. We're making like almost like a tail in the geometry. Let me turn this off, but we don't want that. Okay, I'm going to put this back to default and change this to compute velocity. So this is handy also for your motion blur if you're working with geometry with animation, and if you don't have a velocity on it and you want to render motion blur, this is quite a common thing that I do and others to get that. And I'm going to turn this up. I'm going to double the velocity scale. It's just a multiplier, okay, give us more to work with. So if we head up to the geometry spreadsheet now, you can see we got a velocity in our geometry. We've got some numbers, things for us to work with, okay, on the points. Cool. So let's come back to this attribute transfer. And I'm gonna take the black here and actually put it onto the grid. Okay, we don't have color here now, so there's an error. We're transferring something which isn't there. So let's give it that. So I'm going to drop down a attribute VOP. There it is. Okay, we used one of these in the first week. So we're going to drop in here, and again we take in the attributes. So we've got velocity, the velocity attribute, and we're going to make color from that. Okay, if we visualize that now, you can see we get some weird results. So what I'm going to do is drop a what is it called, vector to float. So this has one input, which is a vector. So we have a vector in X, Y, and Z, and then we can take, this will allow us to separate those components. So we've got X, Y, and Z. I'm going to take the Y component and connect it up to the color there, and there you go. Already we can see something better. We got some cleaner values. We don't have vector colors being transferred. Okay, so at the moment it's only affecting the color. We can't see any deformation of the yogurt. So let's drop a attribute wrangle, and in here we can use the color information to deform the geometry. Okay, we're going to drop down a little bit of X, not a lot, nothing too complicated. So we need to access the position attribute in Y. Okay, we're only going to move our geometry up this way. I'll turn that off. And what we're going to do is we're going to take, so we're going to take the position that we've got in Y again. We're going to add the color. So we're changing the color, right? We got C, D. I'm going to put .x because we don't want the we only want one part of the color. It will be the same over because it's gray. If I come here, I'll highlight this and show you. Find a place where we've got values. Yeah, you can see they're the same in X, Y, and Z. But so we don't want all three. I just want one. Just want this one number. It doesn't matter. I can take it from X, from Y, or Z, R, G, or B. Sorry. So I'm just going to take it from R, there. X, I could put R also, in fact, it will still work. Whoops. Okay, let's go back to our scene view so we can see this once it's happening. In fact, if I just drop a semicolon there, I think we should get something. Yeah, see that? We got a bit of a dip then. See that? So it's already something going on. Would be good to have a bit more control on this. So I'm going to multiply this. And we're going to create our own multiplier. So I could just I can multiply it by 2 or 3. Okay, but what we would be nice to do is to make a slider down here, so we can have something to click and drag along, and we'll have a bit more artistic control, right? So to make a channel like that, we use ch, and it will default to a float, but if you want a vector, you use channel V or channel F for float. We don't need to do that because the default is a float, which is what we need. And then we give it a name. We'll call it mult. Close the brackets there. I'm going to put all of this inside one bracket so that we have a correct order of, the math works correctly. So that's gone to 0 now, so we have so this is multiplied by 0, so we're not getting anything. So if we click this button, that makes our slider. So we have the name there, mult, and it's at 0. So now if I drag this up, we should see, it's a bit hard to see there. You can see it's dropping down. Goes from 0 to 1, but if I middle click, we can go higher or lower with that. I'm going to change this to, let's try blend, get something a bit smoother. Okay, great.